Hi, my name is Svet, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make cordage in a survival situation in the woods with nothing else but your bare hands or with a knife. Cordage is very important for survival purposes. You can make bowstrings out of it. You can use it for attaching the fletchings of your improvised arrows. And last but not least, you can tie stuff with it, right? In case we don't have access to any cordage in the wild, then how do we obtain cordage? We make it out of plants, and that's the answer. Now, what kind of plants? You can use hemp, you can use flax, you can use willow bark. Guys who live in the United States of America can use yucca, but all of these plants are very difficult to obtain, even if you go searching for them. So what do? Fortunately for us, there is a plant that you can find both in America and in Eurasia, and that's the stinging nettle. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to make cordage using stinging nettles. Without further introductions, let's get started. You can find stinging nettle pretty much everywhere. It's very abundant. Normally it grows next to creeks and streams and where there's a little bit more moisture than on the average. And I found this stalk here and just gonna demonstrate you. Don't be afraid to get stung, okay? It's not dangerous. Some people even claim that it's good for your immune system, anti-inflammatory, whatever. But in case you don't want to get stung, I'm gonna demonstrate you a technique how to remove the leaves and some of the stems without getting stung. So here we go. Here is this stalk. And the trick is to grab it as firmly as you can. As firmly as you can, and you just do this. And I did not get stung. Okay? So now I have this. I'm going to repeat it. We have this going on. And now the next step will be to process it and to turn it into fiber. Well, guys, we now have all these stalks and they're all cleaned out of leaves. These are just the stalks, and I'm going to show you how to process them. Now, you may not have the luxury of having a table in your survival situation, and most probably you won't have one. But just for the sake of making this video easier, I'm going to use this table here in the woods just to be able to show you how to do it. In your case, you may need to use a flat rock or very firm ground or a fallen log or anything of that nature. So keep that in mind. Guys, I created this rolling pin out of a piece of wood using my knife. And the first thing I'm gonna do when processing the nettles is I'm just gonna crush the stems using the rolling pin. Like I said, you can use your bare hands, but a rolling pin makes things a lot easier. I'm gonna crush and crush and crush. Once it is crushed, I'm gonna split it in half. Alright? I'm gonna split it in half. And it helps if you have fingernails, which I don't have right now. Gonna split it in half. And what we want in this case scenario is the outer bark, the outer layer of this nettle stalk. We don't want the pith. So we're gonna crush it in the middle like this, and we're gonna start peeling off the inner pith, as you can see. So I'm just gonna remove all the pith, and I'm not gonna bore you with all these actions, but you get the idea. You want this. This is the fiber. Okay? This is what we are going to make our cordage out of. Again, crush, peel. Crush and peel. Okay, and this is what we ended up with. These are just the pure fibers. As you can see, they're flexible. These fibers are exceptionally strong. But, there is a big but. You cannot use them in their wet state. They're wet right now, okay? You have to dry them next to a fire or in the sun. And I can hear you say, well, how do I light up a fire when I only have a knife? Stay tuned for my next video. I'm gonna show you how to start a fire using only a knife. Now I'm gonna process these stalks too in order to gather more fiber. I'm gonna dry it next to my fire and I'm gonna come back to you. So next we're gonna place the fibers next to the fire, close to it, somewhere on a rock, or we can build a rack out of branches. It doesn't matter. It's gonna take about an hour to 2 hours before the fiber is dry and ready to roll into a rope. So the fibers are dried, relatively dried, and I have these two bundles here, and I'm gonna show you how to twist them into a rope or cordage. So you start by twisting, and twisting, and at one point the cordage will want to kink on itself, like you see here. So now I'm gonna pinch it over here, and I'm gonna twist this part. I'm gonna flip it over, and then twist this part. Flip it over, and twist again. Flip it over, and twist the other side again. And this continues. We will continue doing this until we have good, strong cordage. Okay? And I'm gonna speed up the video now because I don't want to bore you with me twisting and flipping. And then you will come to a point where there is no more fiber. What do we do now? We're gonna grab the other bundle. We're gonna fold it in half. And we're gonna place it over here. So now, the two bundles become one bundle. Let me just, again, twist and flip. Twist and flip. And you continue doing this until you have as long of a rope as you need. And like I said, this Nettles rope is very strong. It's very capable of doing bowstrings, and it will not break on you. And it doesn't have to be pretty. All that it needs to be is strong. Here's our cordage. It's super duper strong. Very strong. Okay? So depending on the strength of your bow, you're gonna make it thicker or thinner. So this is the cordage that I made. So this is how you make super strong cordage for your bowstring or for other purposes in a survival situation. If you want to learn how to start a fire using just a knife, Please watch my next video. It's coming up soon. Subscribe, feel free to comment. Thank you very much. See you in my next video. Bye bye.